Welcome class. Today we are going to have an introduction to taxation. I am your instructor, Mr. I.S. Maulusi. Right, so now we shall start by looking at the meaning and the nature of taxation. Let's start with the definition of taxation. What is taxation? The taxation is the process by which a government imposes compulsory charges or levies on individuals, businesses, and organizations in order to raise revenue for financing public expenditures and national development. Right, so now that's what requires taxation. Now, you understand that these charges are collected according to what? According to laws of a country, and are actually administered by authorized government institutions such as the Zambian Revenue Authority. It's not just any other organization that can stand up and start collecting, taxes from citizens. So there are some, authorized government institutions that are legalized to collect those, taxes. So these charges are always collected according to the laws of a country. Right. You need to understand that taxation is actually one of the major sources of government income. So now the money that is collected through taxes is often used to provide what? To provide public goods and what? And services such as education, health, roads, security, water supply, agricultural support programs, and other developmental projects. So now, we realize that without taxation, governments would actually find it difficult to meet the needs of citizens and maintain economic stability. So, in our country, that is Zambia, taxation is actually governed by various laws, and those laws includes the Income Tax Act, we have Value Added Tax Act, we have Customs and Excise Act, and also Property Transfer Tax Act. So now, Zambia Revenue Authority is the regulatory board that is responsible for collecting taxes on behalf of the government. So the ZRA, it is a legalized institution or regulatory board that is responsible for it, for the collection of taxes on behalf of the government. This is very important. Right, so now taxation is actually compulsory. That's one thing that you need to know, that taxation is compulsory in nature. What does this mean? It simply means that every eligible taxpayer is legally required to pay taxes. So now, failure to comply with tax laws, this can result in what? Penalties, fines, or legal actions. So it's different from voluntary donations. So taxes are actually enforced by law and are not option for any person. So taxes are not option. It's a mandate. It's mandatory. Everyone should pay tax. They are different from voluntary donations. Right? So now taxation are important, like we already discovered. They don't only serve as a means of raising government revenue, but also as an instrument for economic and social policy. You understand that government use taxes so as to reduce income inequalities, control inflation, discourage harmful products, and encourage investment in priority sectors of the economy, which is actually very important. So we can see that taxes are of great significance in each and every country. Now, what are the key features of taxation? Number one, tax or taxation is compulsory. So it's a compulsory payment, meaning that taxes must be paid by individuals and businesses as required by law. And this is not optional, it's mandatory for everyone. Number two, taxations are imposed by the government. So here we only have authorized government institutions are the ones that have the power to impose and collect taxes. Then taxations has no direct benefit, or in other terms, in taxation, citizens have no direct benefits, which are actual taxpayers. So now, the meaning of this is that taxpayers do not receive direct or immediate benefits equivalent to the taxes they have paid. Like the way when you go on the market, if you go on with a 500 kwacha, you buy things for 500 kwacha, you are going to have, direct benefit from that money that you have used to buy those things. You give out your money, then in return you get some products. So that is buying and selling. Now with the tax paying, there is nothing like you having direct benefit. So you as the taxpayer, you will not receive direct or immediate benefit equivalent to that tax that you have paid. Instead, the money is collected by the government and it is used for the thing that would benefit the entire community, the entire country, the entire society, and possibly those things may now be distributed equally to every citizen. So you can see that even those who are less privileged, they may start now benefiting from such kind of revenues when collected. Then another key feature of taxation is that it is used for public purposes. So revenue collected is used to finance government activities and public services, of which even those who have got little money, they will still be able to benefit from these public services. Okay, we have a lot of them. We may talk about schools, may talk about hospitals, roads, and many other more things. So every citizen has got equal opportunity, equal share, equal rights to the same public services. All right. So we can see that it's really important that taxes be practiced or be collected in a country. Another key feature of taxation is that taxation is based on law. So taxation operates under legal frameworks and statutory regulations. Okay. Then now, what's the importance of taxation? The importance of taxation, number one, is that it raises revenue for government expenditure. So for us to raise revenues, we need to make sure that we collect taxes. Then number two, it promotes economic development. By collecting those taxes, you are promoting the development or the economic development of the country. So economically, the country is going to develop as you collect those taxes, because the same money is going to be put to use where the development of the country is concerned. Then another importance that it reduces income inequalities. So if not, like I've already said, the income inequalities may be reduced, because some money that is collected from there is used to buy or maybe to bring development in the country, to finance government activities and public services, of which now every citizen, every taxpayer is going to benefit from that. At the end of the day, you all have the issue of income will not be really that issue, because there will be equality in terms of income that will be promoted at the end of the day. Talk about the workers in health, the workers in hospitals, for that those people, they depending on the levels where they are, they receive same salaries. If they're diploma holders, they receive the same salaries. Degree holders, they receive the same salaries. Possibly the only difference is only if maybe someone is a senior and all that. So now you can see that actually that's part of the money that is paid in form of a tax, which can now be used to finance other activities of the country, of which people who are going to benefit, they'll benefit in equal way or equal shares, thereby reducing income inequalities. Everyone at least will have something at the end of the day. Then the same taxation controls inflation and consumption. So that is very important. When taxes are paid, the inflation will be controlled and consumption also will be controlled. Then it encourages investment and production. This is very important, because the investors know that the country has got money, so it will be very easy even for the country, for the other nations to invest. Okay, yes, it's very important. All right, now it provides essential public services like we have already discovered. So the money that is collected is used for other essential public services. Then another function that it supports national infrastructure development. So when we have more, all right, we make a progress. This time around we are going to learn about the examples of taxes in Zambia. In Zambia we've got a good number of taxes that practiced. So the first one being pay as you earn, which is commonly known as pay, and that pay is an abbreviation of pay as you earn. We also have value added tax, which is commonly known as VAT, which is possibly an abbreviation as well of value added tax. We also have corporate income tax. We also have customs duty. We also have excise duty. We have property transfer tax. We have turnover tax. We also have withholding taxes. So these are the major and common taxes that are there in Zambia, and as we move on in the study, we're going to learn more about each and every type or example of tax that is practiced in Zambia. So now, in summary, you've got to understand that taxation is an essential or important component of every economy because of what? Because it provides government, with financial resources that are needed to operate, and deliver services to who? To the citizens of the country. So now in Zambia, taxation plays a significant role in what? In supporting national development programs, in maintaining public infrastructure, and also doing what? Improving the welfare of the entire population. So therefore, effective taxation systems also help promote accountability and economic stability. So this is where we end for today.